Hey guys, SavyTechGirl here. How's it going? Figured I'd come on here and just I'm not going to do a very long show, probably about 15 minutes or so. I just thought I would jump in, see if anybody was out there, see if anybody had any tech questions. I'm going to talk a little bit about Kodi, going to talk about setting up maybe the simple PVR client. So if you guys do have any questions, let's get them rolling. Had a live show yesterday with Retromania UK and RetroX. Thought it was a really great show. I was really happy that they came on and taught you guys a little bit more about what they actually do. I'm going to get it set up on a Raspberry Pi over the weekend. I started doing it today, and I'm going to finish it up probably tomorrow. So once I do that, I'm going to start doing a video. Yeah, so anyways, I'm hoping some people jump in here and we can have a live show talking about what's going on in the Kodi world. A lot of stuff last week, sort of some clickbait stuff that was going on with how Kodi's not going to be around anymore and how Kodi's dying. And I think that that is so far from the truth. It's not even funny. Kodi's become really popular over the last few years. Dates right back to XBMC, which was the Xbox version. Xbox was the first one that really released this base where you can take media from your home. And you take that media from your home and you can stream it all throughout your house. So it's a lot easier than having to, take a device and then you want your music somewhere and you got to go take a MP3 player or your iPad, iPod connected into your auxiliary. So this just allows you through your network. You can actually just stream everything. You put music on there, you can put movies on there. RetroX was talking about the gaming that they have, the ability where you can start playing a game on your one device using ROMs. Hey, Hi-Fi, how's it going? Glad to see you in here. Let's talk some Kodi and stuff. I'm just talking about how I had RetroX in yesterday, and we were talking about the emulation software that Franco has developed, which I think is absolutely amazing for him to be able to. Over the last year, it has just taken off. This build came out, the Retromania build came out and Retromania and Franco from which is now RetroX got together, sort of put their brains together and came up with this amazing system. Not only is the build good for gaming, but the Retromania build itself is just fully packed with everything you could ever want. They have some fantastic tutorial videos on there as well. I've got a Raspberry Pi sitting here that I've started loading the Retro X onto, so I want to really test it on there. I spoke to Franco after the show yesterday. Hey Richard, how's it going? If you guys have any questions about anything technology wise, just jump in and ask away. I was sort of just playing with my OBS software today, setting up my green screen and stuff. Obviously, you can see I've got some work to do because my eyes are red. But I just thought I would jump on here and just have a quick show, see how everybody's doing. But yeah, anyways, getting back to the RetroX system that they've set up, I think it's extremely user friendly, which is the one thing that I like with the Retromania UK. If you become one of their, hey, actually, it's my old headset. I pulled it out of a drawer and it works better than all my expensive stuff. Well, you would believe it because you buy all the expensive stuff and it doesn't even work as well. How's everybody doing? How are you, Husham? I want to congratulate Husham on his 100,000 subscribers to YouTube. I saw that you went and you received a plaque, I think. So that was fantastic. Yeah, I'm using OBS. I'm playing around with it again. I haven't played around with it in a while, but I'm going to. So, yeah, anyways, way to go, Husham. I think that is kudos to you to get the 100,000 subscribers to your channel. Very well deserved. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that I saw that you went to YouTube directly. Correct me if I'm wrong. And you got a really nice plaque. So good for you. I jump onto your shows every once in a while and I listen to you. I don't really say much in the chat, but I listen to you. Do you think Raspberry Pi will have a new one at the end of the month? I'm not sure if they're going to release a new one, actually. I'm actually waiting for a Kickstarter that I signed up for. It's called The Onion, and it is again a microcomputer. Hey, Trooper, how's it going? It would be nice to see Raspberry Pi come out with another one. I'm actually using my Raspberry Pi, I'm building a car media center. I'm kind of looking over there because I've got it all in pieces, but I'm using a 7.5-inch touchscreen. And with that, I'm using a Raspberry Pi and I'm loading Jesse on and I am going to run a full media center including GPS. So I'm going to have GPS in there. I'm going to have an FM antenna in there. The Raspberry Pi has Bluetooth built in, so I'm going to have phone functionality and everything. Um, yeah, I don't know. If Raspberry Pi came out with a new model, I think one thing I would like them to do is put the spring release on the micro SD card. Drives me crazy with the Raspberry Pi 3. I mean, I've got one right here and you try and get the SD card out, and it drives me crazy. Um, you almost need to get tweezers or something in there. The twos had, or the Bs, and they had the spring release in there, but these ones don't. So it makes it a little bit difficult. But yeah, these little guys, they're amazing. Do absolutely anything with those. Um, yeah, so anyways, getting back to the ROMs and the retro mania, if you become the elite member, which is what I did, I think it was £5, you're actually able to get the whole download. It's all in a package. You install it, and you can play games to your heart content. I'm not a huge gamer by any means, but I just love trying new things, and I just love to see how, you know what, see how things install, how easy is it. I like to look at it from the standpoint of the regular user. Are they going to be able to sort of plug and play this thing, get up and running, and not be completely confused? So, hey Ricky Bob, how's it going? Where is the best place to buy a Raspberry Pi 3? Well, in Canada, I would say your best bet is to go on Amazon. They have some really good deals. You can go to a site called CanKit, CANKIT, but they also do sell on Amazon. They have great deals and they also have package deals. So you have to remember when you buy these, hang on a second, let me grab one here. So when you buy these, you are going to be just getting the actual Raspberry Pi, right? So if you order a Pi, that's all you get. You just get this board. You don't get anything else. You need a power supply, obviously. And I think I'm not actually going to guess where or what the rating is on the power supply. But so you got to get the power supply. You have to get a micro SD card. They don't come with micro SD cards either. So you have to get those. And I put some heat sinks on. You don't need to put the heat sinks on, but I put heat sinks on there. So you're going to have to get a few things. You're probably going to want to get a case for it. So if you get the package deal, then that way you're going to already have an SD card in it. It'll be preloaded with new out-of-box software for you, so you can. It does have the Open Box Media Center, so OBMC comes with it, so you can load that, or you can download the image and put Kodi on it. That's one way to do it. But yeah, just go to Amazon and buy a kit. That way, when you get it, you're not going to be disappointed by then thinking, oh, I've got to buy this and I've got to buy that. And then you can get up and running. Where is Streaming Wend? Well, I see Streaming Wend all the time, actually. I'm going to see her tomorrow night, and I am going to get her back on the show. Last year I wasn't feeling very good. Had some health issues, but feeling a lot better now. So I'm sort of back at the live stuff, back at doing the YouTube videos, doing a lot of stuff on IPTV and setting up simple client, simple PVR, things like that. So also looking for other ideas, guys. If there's videos you want to see, how-to videos, that would be something that I'm absolutely open to if you guys want to do that. Yeah, I would definitely buy a Raspberry Pi for gaming, for the retro gaming. The processors and everything that are in these are more than enough than what you need for any retro gaming. You can put RetroPie on it. You can download ROMs. Obviously, if you have a original copy of a ROM, then or the original copy of the software. ROMs is a little bit of a gray area, but as long as you own the software, it's completely legit. But as you know, there's always places to get ROMs online. I love running ColecoVision. I'm a ColecoVision nut, and I remember probably 10 years ago I downloaded an emulator, a ColecoVision emulator, put it on a desktop PC, and it ran so quickly that when I was playing Donkey Kong, I couldn't even keep up to it. Obviously, things have changed, the software and the emulations changed, so they've started to, you know, they've reconfigured it, they've written the program so now you can actually run these games on fast machines. But RetroPie for retro gaming, that's the way to go. You can put any emulators on there. ColecoVision, and if you do go over to the Retromania, I would suggest that you do the Elite package. Then you can download the complete install pack. Just put it on your SD card, put it into the Raspberry Pi, and then you'll be up and running. So, yeah, I think you would really enjoy it. I have to get Streaming Wen back on here, absolutely. Maybe tomorrow night I will talk to her and see if she wants to join the show once again. I've been playing around a lot with Kodi 17. I don't know what you guys think of it. I don't know if Husham's still in here. If he has any comments on that. Is a Raspberry Pi hard to set up from scratch? It's actually very easy to set up as long as you have a basic understanding of computing. So what you're going to do is when you get the Raspberry Pi, if you've never done anything like this before, my first suggestion would be take the new out-of-box software card that you get with the kit. So make sure you buy a kit. Like I said, everything comes together. You're going to put the SD card, micro SD card into the Raspberry Pi, and you are going to then connect your HDMI cable. Always connect your HDMI prior to connecting your power. Okay, if you put your power in and then you put your HDMI in, it's not going to recognize your HDMI cable. So plug your HDMI in, then plug your power in, and it's going to be up and running. Okay, so once your Pi is up and running, you're going to see some selections on the screen, and at that point you can pick if you want to run Raspberry, which is the Linux version. So it's just the software if you want to use it as a computer. Then you can either do that or you can install the open source media center, so OSMC, and then you can get that up and running, and then that's sort of like a Kodi base which you can use, so you can do that as well. I do have videos online, so on my YouTube channel, if you go in there, I have the how to set up Kodi on the Raspberry Pi. So you're just going to go over to their website, you're going to go to the Kodi website and download the image file for Kodi for the Raspberry Pi. Again, as simple as putting the micro SD card in, booting it up, and following the prompts. So really you can get this running in about 10 minutes. Maybe the first time you do it, sort of like a 30-40 minute run through. So Kodi 17 runs well on the Raspberry Pi. Obviously, the only thing with 17 right now is a lot of the builds are sort of being configured. They're being switched over, so there's a little bit of lapse with that. But the Retromania, I was talking to Stuart the other day, he's now fully supporting Kodi 17. He's not supporting 16 anymore. So everything that he's doing, it's compatible. You install it, you're up and running. If you're with the elite group, like he mentioned the other night, then you get sort of everything included. And yeah, ROMs are really easy. You know what? There, if you can work your way around Kodi, you can definitely work your way around getting some ROMs online. And if you know what, if you've got questions about legality of that, then obviously it's the same thing. If you own the software, you can absolutely download the ROMs with no problem at all. So, yeah, so the Raspberry Pis are very simple to set up. They are also very simple to reset and just override whatever's on there. Don't feel like you have to, it's not a big deal if you just keep reloading. You can run Linux on it, and then if you don't want to do that, um, first thing you might want to do though is take a copy of that new out of box software, or you can actually just jump onto their website. Let me just see if I can find the website here for you. I can give you the link that way. And then once you have that new out of box software, you are pretty much good to go because whatever you decide to put on, you can just revert right back to it. So if you just go onto Google and put NOOBS knobs, that will give you the link, and then you can download it. You own everything. Where can you go? I own it all too. Just go to Google, Google ROMs, see what comes up. Donkey Kong's my favorite. Dukes of Hazzard was also a good one too. I just think it's great. I mean, you know what? These guys, like a year ago, they didn't have very many users, and now it's just sort of spread like wildfire. So, and it's a little bit different. I think it sort of breaks up um, the everyday we're doing Kodi and we're watching TV and we're watching movies and stuff. But there's so much more out there that, in my opinion, that we can do with this stuff, and it's sort of nice to um, broaden our horizons a little bit. That's why I'm building the media center for my car. It's, you know what, it's a fun project, and then I can have what I want in there. So how is everybody? Richard, how have you been? How's everybody been doing? Nice to see people jumping into the live show. Like I said, I was just playing around with OBS and figured, hey, why not go live and see what happens? You can see I'm a supporter of Raspberry Pi by the logo that's behind me. But this new Onion device that I'm hopefully getting soon, I did get. The only thing when you do a starter project is like a Kickstarter project is that there's a lot of sort of hiccups along the way. And I think I did receive an email the other day that something about shipping. I think I've got to pay some extra for shipping or something. But I'm really excited to get the this new microcomputer. It looks to me like it can do almost everything that an Arduino board does. Um, and an Arduino board obviously takes a lot more programming. You have to have a little bit better background on programming and things like that. They do have a graphical programming feature now for Arduino, which is nice because people that don't have that background can get in there and learn the system. Oh, thanks, CTech. Thank you so much. Yeah, for Christmas I actually got a Arduino robot. So it's a car. Came in probably 100 pieces. Has sensors on it. Has four motors for the wheels, and it has ultrasonic sensors on it. So it's a great starter project because you get the car, you build the car, you build the robot, and then you have to program the robot. So you go in, you get to learn the language. The great thing is it comes with a DVD that's loaded up with the program already. And then, so for people that don't know the programming, can just preload it. Then you can go in and start making your changes and things. So it's a really good learning tool. They have sort of different levels. You can get into their base model, which only, it has a few functions, lights on, lights off. It's got a little LCD display, things like that. Um, my favorite kind of pie is Raspberry Pi. That's my favorite. Raspberry Pi Bs and Raspberry Pi 3s. All different Raspberry Pis. They're my favorite. And you can get a Beagle Bone. So I don't know where they get these names from, right? So you have a Beagle Bone, you have a Raspberry Pi, now we have an Onion, we have an Arduino, but and what else do we have? There's a banana, I believe, banana board out there as well. Never tried that one. Haven't tried BeagleBone either, but I think it's a lot like the Arduino. And obviously with Arduino, there's you can buy the main Arduino board. There's the knockoffs of the Arduinos. You can get them for about $9. Um, the kit that you buy, the one I got for Christmas, was a legit Arduino. It was an Arduino Uno. But Raspberry Pi have a board. It's called the Raspberry Pi Zero. It's half the size of this. Pretty much cut the Raspberry Pi 3 in half, and has you can actually run Kodi on a Zero, and you can also run the media center that I'm going to be putting in my car on a Zero. So I think it's about a $9 board. So how's Richard? So everything okay here? Playing with Kodi on Pi and on the Asus tablet and Windows 10. Very good. Bought the tablet in early January. I actually purchased a Surface Pro 3 today. I'm primarily a Mac user, so I have a Mac Mini. I have a MacBook Pro. I have iPads, I have iPhones, and I do have a few desktop computers running Windows 10, Windows 8, but today I bit the bullet. I decided to purchase a Surface Pro 3. And the reason I purchased the Surface Pro 3 is because I subscribe to Office 365, and you cannot run Microsoft Access on a Mac. You have to run it on a virtual machine. So I wanted a sort of a lightweight solution for running my Microsoft Access database that I'm building, and therefore I purchased a Surface Pro 3. So far I like it. Very impressed with the pen, and I'm using it with the keyboard. I've only played around with it for a few hours, so I'm sure over the next couple of weeks I'm gonna sort of come out with my opinion on it. So what's a way to fix the cache full fix? I have Windows 7. I run Windows 7 on one of my laptops and one of my desktops. I don't like 8. I'm not a fan of 10. Windows 7, I also have a few businesses, and I run Windows 7 at the businesses as well for my front end systems. I don't trust Windows, well, I never trusted Windows 8. Windows 10, as I say, I'm not a huge fan of Windows 10. I haven't had as many issues. Last week I was trying to set up a receipt printer. I'm trying to think of what brand it was. One of the top brands of a receipt printer with Windows 10, and there was no way this thing was going to configure. All I wanted to do was be able to print receipts from QuickBooks, and Windows 10 wouldn't see this printer. I worked on it for about 2 days, and in the end I just purchased another printer. So I gave up. Good old Windows 7, it never fails me. Hey Mari, how are you? Okay, so we have Shield TV. Can't get Quasar to work on Kodi 17. I actually have not tried that, but I will definitely look into that for you over the weekend. I don't know if anybody in the chat room has been able to do that. If anybody can answer the Shield TV's question there, if you've got a solution and you could share that. Otherwise, I will definitely take a look at that. I'm making a note of it right here so I don't forget. And I'll take a look at that for you. I did actually, I downloaded 10 when it was free. and it caused me a lot of problems. A couple of the machines I did have to revert back to 7, and like I said, a couple of the machines I still have 10 on it. I like to have everything just because my clients have all different operating systems, so I like to be able to support them and have a quick solution. Um, Yeah, you know what, Apple is my favorite, and like I say, I do have the MacBook. I've got two MacBooks actually. I've got one here with a smash screen that I have to replace. But it's just you know what, sometimes you've got applications, like I said, Microsoft Access will not work unless you run it on a VM. And I don't want to have to start putting VMs onto all of my machines. I do run a VM on my Mac Mini, so I can run Linux and things like that, but I don't want to have to start doing that on all my machines. So I decided to bite the bullet and try the Surface Pro and see how we do with that. Now, there was another question up here. Let me just scroll up and see what we have here. What's a way to fix the cache full on the Pi? So are you talking cache full when you're running Kodi, or are you talking cache full when you're just running, say, Linux or something? Because so that would be two totally different things. If you're running Kodi, obviously you just go to the clear cache. If you're actually running Raspberry Pi, to start clearing your cache and things, you're going to have to go into your terminal window and start doing just the actual commands for it, as opposed to just being able to click a button. So, as I say, if you are in Kodi, obviously you can go to any of the maintenance programs and just do the clear cache. But if you are say running Jessie or Raspberry. Okay, so if you're in Kodi, so just put a maintenance build on there, and then you can just go in and do your clear cache delete packages. So it's a click of a button, and you can get any of the maintenance packages through the add-on installer. So just go into the add-on installer. Usually it should be in the top download area. If not, go into the programs area of the add-on installer, and then within there you'll find maintenance, and just install maintenance and clear the cache. It is something you're going to want to do on a fairly regular basis, but that's absolutely the easiest way. If you were in Linux, you were running Linux, Raspberry, and something like that, then obviously you're going to need to go into the terminal and you're going to start to have to put the commands in. But Kodi's an easy fix. Click a button, and yeah, and away you go. So, how's everybody else doing? Mari, how are you doing? It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've done a live show, and tonight was just an impulse. Um, So Richard's saying that Echo Wizard runs well for him, so you can give that a try and see how that goes. Yeah, I think any of the maintenance packages that I have tried from Kodi on the Raspberry Pi have worked great. There hasn't been one add-on that I have run into an issue with running Kodi on the Raspberry Pi. It's a great machine and it can keep up. It's got everything it needs to keep up, so you shouldn't see a problem. The only problems you're going to start seeing now is if you're running previous versions of Kodi and you're looking at new versions of add-ons, that's where you're going to run into a problem, or vice versa. I've been good, thank you. Yeah, last year I sort of had a little bit of a rough year, but I'm back at it now and I'm feeling a lot better. And I'm going to start up these live shows again. I'm hoping to get some guests on. The past couple of weeks I've had guests on the show, so hopefully if anybody out there would like to be a guest on the show, I would love to have you. Maybe Hi-Fi will be a guest on the show. You know what? We can talk Kodi, we can talk technology in general. The only thing I don't think I want to talk is American politics. It's a little bit of a touchy area at the moment. But yeah, so I'm hoping to get the live show back up every week and hoping to get Streaming Wend to join me because that would be nice to get her back in here again, and we can talk all things technology. Yeah, I've been doing lots in the last year. I've had some projects that I've been working on. As I say, I'm doing some projects for myself actually, which is kind of nice just to be able to get some computer boards, throw them together, and start making some things like video doorbells. And right now I'm working on a project for digital signage. So I've got a couple of customers. One really good friend of mine owns a golf course, and we're doing some digital signage for their golf course. Having running into a little bit of issues with that. We would like to have live TV in there. They're out in a rural area, so it's kind of hard to get that high-speed internet out there. So without getting a TV tuner, I'm sort of in between what I'm going to do, but that's sort of a fun project. So we're working on that together, and hopefully the golf season's going to start early because our weather is absolutely amazing in Ontario currently. It was 21 degrees Celsius yesterday, and it's usually about minus 10 at this time of year, so the weather has been incredible. Another reason why I have been, well, I actually should be outside in 21 degrees, but I'm spending a lot of time on the computer and yeah. Yeah, we're not talking politics. We are talking technology. Janet's here. How are you? Great to have everybody in tonight. So anybody play around with Linux? What's my poll right now is going to be what version of Linux is your favorite? I'm using Jessie currently. The reason I'm using Jessie is because I'm playing around with this Car Pi project. So that is my choice at the moment. I've been trying to load, what did I try and load? LibreElec the other day. I tried to load LibreElec on my Pi and it gave me headache after headache after headache. I had four micro SD cards. I tried three of them and they just wouldn't boot. File corrupt, file corrupt, file corrupt. So I went and got another Raspberry Pi board and I tried it again, file corrupt, file corrupt. So come to realize that the ones that I was trying to use um, were cheap ones that I have purchased, and lesson learned. I have now just purchased these good ones, Lexars. They are 16 gig. They were still very cheap. I don't even remember what I paid for. They were cheap. Not as cheap as the other ones. Anyways, turns out that the only reason I was having a problem loading LibreElec onto my Raspberry Pi was the fact that the micro SD cards were garbage. And they were made by, sorry, the lighting in my office is changing. Hence the green screen showing up in the background. They were made by Patriot. So my advertisement for today is Patriot cards, micro SD cards, don't buy them. They're garbage. You may as well have burnt your money. So um, don't try and find cheap micro SD cards. Worst thing to do. It costs me about 3 hours of my life. So Janet says going crazy looking for a mini B USB cable. Oh boy. File transfer Mac to Android Wi-Fi is Ken's response. Um, yeah, mini B. I found a mini B. Did you try? I'm sure you tried Amazon. You must have tried Amazon. Or are you just physically looking in stores? I don't think I've been into a store to buy something in, I don't know, years. Yeah, definitely, Richard. The LibreElec was, it was the garbage Patriot micro SD cards I had. None of them worked. When out of the, so three of them, I grabbed the fourth micro SD card, which was, I can't remember what brand it was. Anyways, it worked immediately. So I should have, and I'm thinking there's something wrong with the Pi board, so I went and got a different Pi, and then I went and got a Pi 2 because I have a surplus of them kicking around the house. And I tried everything, and then I realized I looked at the name on the SD card and I thought, maybe, just maybe, Patriot are not good micro SD cards. And sure enough. So yeah, Lexar, I figured, you know what? Spend the money, spend the extra $3 and everything will work out fine. I like LibreElect too. Um, so Janet says, no, I have over 100 cables here at home. Oh, yeah, I know that I do exactly the same thing. Purchased an electronic drum kit a few weeks ago, and I needed an audio cable, and I have, it's a dresser with 4 drawers in it, full of cables, and I probably spent 2 hours looking through and I couldn't even find one. In the end, I went and purchased one. I know it's in the house somewhere. It's just trying to go through the tangled mess. You, it always seems to me you put them away nicely and then you go in the drawer to get them, and somehow, some way, they have entangled themselves into a knot that you cannot get into, and it's like Christmas lights, right? You take your Christmas lights down, and every year we're sure that we wrap them up nicely, and then you go to put them up and you spend 3 hours trying to untangle knots. That's exactly what happens. It's like there's little people or something going in and tangling them up. So I feel your pain. Yeah, dressers and suitcases with cables. Like where else are you gonna put them? And you never throw a cable out because you need that cable. If you throw that cable out, you're going to need it. So you never throw out a cable. It's like a power adapter for a laptop. You get rid of the laptop, but you keep the power adapter because one day you may have something that needs the exact same power adapter. It's probably never going to happen. But you do that anyway, and then you have 3 drawers full of power adapters. What I usually do is just cut off the ends and then put whatever end I want on it, as long as the actual conversion rate on the adapter, that's what I do. But oh, I understand. Today I finally went through my office and I recycled, I think, about 15 laptops, 2 old desktops. They had just been sitting there. I'd gutted them already, and I've moved them from one side to the next, one side to the next. So today was clean out day. And then, like I said, I decided to play around with this OBS software. I've got my green screen, so I got to set up some lights because these screens are ridiculous in the fact that if you don't have the exact lighting, like you can see, there's my chairs coming through in the background, and so I'm going to play with that over the next week. And I'm going to have a show coming up this week. So, what do you guys want me to talk about on the show this week? Do we want to talk just Kodi, or should we talk about some other technology? Lots of changes in the cell phones lately, apart from Apple. I think that they are exactly the same as they have been. I'm still an Apple fan. I still have my iPhone 6 Plus, which I dropped this morning and cracked the screen, but it still works. I like Apple simply for the fact that everything connects nicely, right? I can go to my desktop, I can go to my phone, I can go to my laptop, all my files are there, all my favorites are there. To me, it just streamlines really well. And I don't feel Windows does the same thing. Green screens are fantastic. They're just so I'm telling you, the lighting on them, and if you have any creases in a green screen at all, um, they it's just so hard to get the filtering to work properly. Like I say, as you can see, even when I closed my office door, so I have my office door closed and the light on, it must have been a little bit lighter outside. And now, because it's completely dark outside, it's changed the lighting in my background. But it is fun to play around with them. Once you get your settings done and your studio set up, um, it works really well. My studio also is used. My niece comes over every Wednesday evening and she has a podcast. She's on iTunes. If you guys want to listen to two funny girls talking about celebrities, they talk about everything. They basically come to my house, they have a couple of glasses of wine, they start their podcast on iTunes. So it's Boys Don't Like Funny Girls. I want to see if I can get my keyboard to work. It stopped working on me. And I want to get you the link for this because she's absolutely hilarious. Maybe not for guys to listen to. They probably wouldn't be quite as interested, um, but Janet and Mari, and if you guys get a chance, go to iTunes or SoundCloud. You can go to SoundCloud as well. And you can go, here we go. Okay, my keyboard's finally working. Let me find it for you. Boys don't like funny girls. The guys may like to, um, they may like to look at my niece. She's quite an attractive girl. She's a lovely girl. Okay, here, I'm giving you the link. So that's the link to her blog. So this is my niece. That's her WordPress. And she has all the links in there to her podcast. So every Wednesday evening, her and Chrissy, who's in the podcast as well, come over to my studio and they do their podcasting. So if you guys have a chance, I would be greatly appreciated if you can listen to them. They are hilarious. Yeah, check it out. Absolutely. Their very first one, they're all good. Their first one I can really relate to because they sort of talk about our family a little bit. It's called Christmas Extravaganza, and it's hilarious. It really is funny, but all of them are good. And if you guys, honestly, if you get a chance, just check it out. I would really appreciate it. And she writes for, she does reviews for Yahoo Canada, and she was also working for Hello Van City. So she's a blogger. She obviously has a full time job, but she loves the blogging. And a couple of weeks ago, we were lucky enough that she came over and she had to do a review on some booze. So we were able to make cocktails. We had to try the cocktails, and then they did their podcast. So yeah, my green screen room is getting set up, but then it has to be, I have to be able to move things. So when they come into the studio to do their podcasting, everything doesn't get in the way. But yeah, so anyways, I'm gonna have a show this week, and if you guys want to, I'll probably do it on Thursday evening, so 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll review some Kodi things. What I'll do is maybe take a look at everything that's sort of top of the charts right now with Kodi, and we'll review it. I am also going to look at the question from earlier about Kodi 17, how we can get that working with some of the apps, some of the add-ons. And like I said, right now, I think a lot of people are going to have issues with if they're running previous versions of Kodi because developers are now redeveloping for 17, some of the add-ons are not going to work, right? So you're going to start running into problems if you're running previous versions of Kodi with things like maybe Exodus Spectro, add-on installer, things like that, because now they are going to want to be running under 17. So those are the things that we might see happening, I think, over the next couple of weeks. Question earlier about will Raspberry Pi come out with a new Pi soon? I really hope so. I hope to see another one come out. I hope that when they do bring another one out, the price point stays about the same, though, because I think that that's what is drawing people to it, to use it for more things. Google has teamed up with Raspberry Pi, and they're coming out with a lot of development applications for it. So I think that once you see that crossover between something like Google and a microcomputing company like Raspberry Pi, I think about I think that you're gonna definitely see the growth in this. I think that you're going to start to see these pies going into schools, into education, things like that. So talk about Kodi. Last couple of days I wasn't able to log in and I thought it was my ISP. I thought my ISP was blocking me from getting content. So was it your ISP, or is it the fact that you are logging into Kodi and there's nothing there? And what add-on was it? Is there a specific add-on, or was it any add-on? I know that some ISPs are definitely cracking down a little bit on things like that. Okay, so proxy setting was blocking it. Now, you know what? I always suggest that when people are, if you're not using a VPN, you should be using the Google DNS or use a generic DNS to access it. A lot of ISPs in Canada doesn't they don't seem to be cracking down on it as much as they're cracking down on people downloading content. When people are downloading content, they are getting letters here, and rightly so. I mean, if you're downloading, you have intent to sell, right? So, but there's many VPNs that you can use that are out there, and you can download them, open VPN right onto the Kodi. You can set it up, as they say. Um, yeah, so somehow you had a proxy setting that changed. I'm not sure how it would have changed. But it was so all of a sudden it blocked it. I haven't really heard of any major networking changes over this past week with Kodi. But like I say, with your ISPs, it's something you've got to sort of stay ahead of. And VPNs are a great idea. VPNs are blocking where you are, right? So you don't have to worry. Like the geo blocking, it opens that up for you. Um, yeah, and like Netflix cracked down on that in Canada a couple of years ago because Canadian Netflix had nothing on it. There was nothing there, so people were using VPNs, and then they were getting the American content. And you know, again, I'm saying if Netflix Canada are going to get upset about the fact that people are using VPNs to go to the American Netflix and they don't want them doing that, well, then let's get us better content. And it all comes down to that. It's no different than all the service providers, right? You always read it in the news, they're against Kodi, and you always get the question, is it legal? Is it illegal? And if these service providers would lower their costs, then I don't think that they would have such a big issue on their hands. It's just to put out $80 or $90 a month for television when there's nothing on anyway. It's just, you know what? It's a lot of money. Everything mounts up. People now with their cell phones, and you've got TV subscriptions, and now you've got cars that have Wi-Fi, and you've got cars that have Sirius radio, and you start adding up all your subscription fees over the year, and it's absolutely ridiculous. So, question: do VPNs really work? The way a VPN works, and obviously, as you know, is it is going to reroute your connection. So if you go online and you check to see right now where you're connecting from, if you don't have a VPN, it's going to pinpoint your location pretty darn close. Some ISPs and some of the modems that get provided, they do have settings in there which make it very difficult for you to have a VPN after that hardware device. But what in that case, really what you want to do is, and most of the modems, routers that are provided by ISPs are refurbs anyway. They're not very good. They give you low end 3-year old, or maybe not 3-year old, but older models. They're not great devices. Um, and so I have my modem, and then I go into a very high end router. Those routers, you can do WRT, and you can actually put your own settings in there. So you're going to get that extra layer of protection. So there are some VPNs that don't work, but there absolutely are VPNs that do work, and they work well. You can use Let me get the name of it. Hang on a second. I should know it because I use it all the time. Let me find it here quickly. Where is it? I should know it. Smart VPN. So you got Unblock USA. I think it's called. See, I'm drawing a blank now. So you've got OpenVPN, which is the one that you can download directly onto your Kodi box. And let me find it. I'm curious as to which one it is. So you got IPVanish, obviously. The IPVanish is a very good service. I would suggest using IPVanish. Again, it is not the one I'm thinking of. And I'm drawing a blank. I can't even think of it now. New routers, ISPS give are not too good either. Virgin Media. Yeah, I know, and that's the problem with the routers and stuff. They're so outdated before you get them. And like you say, the firmware is never fixed or it's never updated. Um, and I have an Asus as well. Yeah, I do have one Asus router, and I have a Netgear. I've got the Netgear R7000 as well, which is a really good router. But yeah, the ones that you get from your ISPs they're no good. They're garbage, really. A lot of people when they get them, they think, "Oh, they're brand new and they're great," but they're not. I can't find the VPN service that I'm thinking of. But I'm going to find it. Hang on. Bear with me. Bear with me for 1 second. It's smart. They have a smart DNS feature, and it's fantastic. Overplay. That's it. My plug is going to be for Overplay VPN service. It is easy to set up. They have a one button that you push in their system, which will reroute. So it's going to create the settings for you. So if you're not into programming or going into your router and doing all the setup and the changes and doing all your DNS, your primary DNS, your secondary DNS, if you don't want to do all of that, then the actual Overplay, which has the smart DNS setup and VPN, is amazing. You do pay monthly. It's a monthly fee, but they have. I'm just going to read a few things out to you. So unlimited regional switching, unlimited server switching. They have mobile compatibility, unlimited bandwidth. A lot of these companies that you sign up with, as soon as you start going through a VPN, they're going to start throttling back your bandwidth. That's something a lot of people don't think about. These guys don't. They have unlimited bandwidth. They have unlimited peer-to-peer. User-friendly apps. Their apps are great. They have over 650 servers in 70 locations in 50 countries, and you can have 3 simultaneous VPN connections. So I've used them for years, and I've never had a problem with them, not once, in all the years that I've used them. And like I said, if you do not want to have to program or configure your router, then this is a very good solution. If you do want to, you absolutely still can. They have the option where you can either do it yourself or you can use their smart DNS version. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much for joining me. I've enjoyed my show tonight, and I'm glad you guys came in here. It's nice to catch up again. It's been a while since we've seen everybody in here, and it was nice to have Richard back and Janet back. Amari came in, and so it's been really good. C-Tech was in here. Hi-Fi's been here. We had Husham in here for a while, so Trooper was here, so it was really good. Um, yeah, so guys, I'll be back on Thursday and I'm going to be making some videos in the meantime. If you guys ever have any suggestions for videos, please just drop me an email, SavyTechGirl@gmail.com. Or you can send me a direct message on Twitter at SavyTechGirl. So I appreciate you guys coming in tonight. It was a lot of fun, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you in my show on Thursday. If anybody wants to be on the show, absolutely send me a message. I'd love to get you on. We can talk technology together. I think that would be really great. So thanks, Richard, for coming in. Also, like I say, it's been great to catch up with everybody, and hopefully, I look forward to hearing from somebody that wants to be on the show. Um, and see if we can get Streaming Wind on there too. So thanks a lot, guys. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you on Thursday. Thanks, guys. Good night.